Hey guys, this is Cody back here once again for a review. First off, I want to say sorry if you can't hear me very well. I've got a cold, but tonight I'm here to do a review on the latest film from a really great independent horror director, Dustin Mills. If you guys remember, I did a review of his last film, The Ballad of Skinless Pete. Well, he just released his newest film and I just got a chance to see it. The movie is called Kill That Bitch, which, with a name like that, I was really intrigued by it. I really had no idea what to expect from it, and I must say, I was really blown away by this. I was very much impressed by what it went to. There was a lot of things that went on in it that I just did not see coming, I wasn't expecting. I don't want to give anything away in this review, so basically what I want to do is just give a synopsis on the storyline, and then, give my own thoughts on the film. Basically, the movie follows a group of women. They're all, older women, and they're actually a sorority of sisters. And basically, they are all connected in a certain way. I'm not going to give away how they're connected, but basically, the movie begins with two girls talking. One of them is about to go to sleep because it's actually nighttime where she's at, and then one of them is about to just wake up. And one of the girls' name is Janie, and they're texting back and forth. And after they finish texting, the girl Janie gets a text that says, I found you. And she asks, who is this? And then she gets a text back saying, call me. And then after she, after she gets that text, then her phone starts ringing. And before she can answer it, she gets attacked by this guy who's wearing this white mask with these sort of like goggle-like eyes, where his eyes looks kind of like goggles, and a big long nose. Goes out like this. And I ended up seeing the movie during a live screening of it online, and I remember people kept talking about it, how it looked like something from the plague mask is what they were referring it to. But basically it looked like a bird to me, honestly, and it was a pretty creepy looking mask. But he basically gets her, knocks her out, and she wakes up handcuffed to a chair, and he ends up going over and basically torturing her. He starts off by stabbing the knife into her leg and pulling it across him. All the effects in this movie are practical, by the way, and they all look very realistic. But he does that, and then he starts ripping off her fingernails, which, for some reason, like, that makes people squirmy. When you do stuff with your fingernails or toenails, that just makes people really squirmy. It didn't for me, but like for some reason, it just always does. So there's some fingernail pulling in this movie, and then he takes a pair of tweezers and puts them in her nose and just yanks it out, like out of her nostrils. And that was a pretty brutal scene and basically kills her. Well, word actually travels between all the girls, and they all do find out that she is dead, and so they all want to begin preparing themselves for it. You do get bits of hints about how they're somehow related. Like, first off, basically every girl sleeps naked in this movie, and when you look at their bodies, they have scars on each of their bodies, in different places, or on their face or on their body, and you're sort of wondering how they get their scars. And you sort of I got the idea that, of course, well, they obviously know who the guy is, but you don't really, as I've said, you have to wait until find out at the end. But basically they all start to prepare for his because they all know that he is going to come after them and kill them all, basically. One thing I really liked about that scene is the movie one thing about Dustin is he's kind of artistic with what he does. During the scene after they all find out that their friend Janie is killed, they all begin preparing in certain ways. And one thing they're doing is the song "This Little Light of Mine" is playing throughout this montage of each of them doing their own thing. Like, there's one girl who, the one girl, Janie, she's outside practicing, I don't want to say karate, but she's practicing, moves outside. And then there's another girl named Sandra who's doing the same thing. And something about the music, it's sort of a peaceful montage, you know, of just them all preparing. And while they're doing that, you see him, the guy, and he's actually in where he goes to. And you see different things on his walls. You see basically painting, you see cutouts, pieces of paper from books about the plague, and you see pictures of a character wearing the mask that he wears, and he's sitting there drawing something. You also see you know, different pictures of different people on his wall. Well, of course, he goes after another girl, and one thing is cool is that each of these girls know how to actually fight. And there's actually one scene where he does get into a fight with one of the girls, and she almost beats him. You know, she of course gets killed, but it's actually a really fun scene. You know, it's really cool. You don't normally see, you know, scenes of girls. You know, usually it's just the killer comes up behind him, and you know, but this time, you know, they actually know how to fight, and the scenes are actually pretty long fight scenes, which I really enjoyed a lot. But basically, they're just all, you know, they're just trying to, you know, all stick together and stay away from this guy, and basically starts knocking them off one by one. I really don't want to give anything else away with the movie, so I'm just going to go ahead and give my own thoughts on it. Now, for me, I absolutely love this film. It had the right mix of gore, good acting, and some good artistic scenes, like I said. Of course, shows the scene with when the little montage of them preparing with the song "This Little Light of Mine." There's also one scene that I liked. There's one of the characters in the movie is named Addie, and she's kind of a drunky, drug addict type character. And the opening scene is her like going over and she's peeing in a bush, and they one of the girls calls her up and says, "Hey, why don't you go? What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm drunk," and it's really funny. And she basically goes to stay with another girl, one of the other girls' house. And the girl that's in it is actually the same girl who was the main girl in the Ballad of Skinless Pete, which was really cool seeing her in it. And she doesn't bathe or anything, and the girl keeps complaining about how badly she smells. So she ends up taking a bath, and she's listening to, you know, This Little Light of Mine. And while she's doing that, the other girl is being attacked by the guy, and he's basically beating her with a pair of brass knuckles, which, like I said, the gore in it is really good. You know, one thing I love about independent films is that they never use, you know, there's never any fake gore or anything. It's all practical effects. I'm sure it's a pain for some directors to do that, but it really makes a difference when you put good, realistic gore. You know, it really makes a huge difference, and you can really tell. You know, her whole face is blooded up and just covered in stuff, and you know, and she still trying to fight him and stuff, and that was really interesting scene. There's also, of course, a time-lapse scene of the sun coming up and, you know, the clouds going by, which I've seen a lot. But basically, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I definitely recommend everybody checking it out. There's some secondary characters that come in, like there's one guy named William who comes in, and he's trying to, and you know, he's talking to the main girl, which for the life of me cannot remember her name. I apologize, but you know, he basically, you know, is asking her if she's heard about the main girl that dies. She says that she does, and for some reason he's like, you know, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to get into your pants or whatever. And it's just a really, you know, of course when he comes in, I'm starting to assume, well, this guy must have something to do with it. But yeah, so like I said, guys, if you're into independent films, I highly recommend checking this movie out. I'll leave a link down below to the store review where you can pick up a copy. I think it's out now because I actually just finished watching it on a live stream, so I think it's out now. You can get it on DVD. I think the Blu-ray was a limited edition and is now out of print. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you're a fan of Dustin Mills, I definitely recommend checking this movie out. It was really good. I highly recommend it. Blew me away. One of the best horror films I've seen this year so far. And I actually think I enjoyed this one more than Skinless Pete. I really do. This one was really just you have to watch it to, you know, really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, that was my review for Dustin Mills' new film, Kill That Bitch. Like I said, I'll leave a link down below to the store review where you can pick a copy of it up. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.